sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising some hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
All right, and now we could go to the audio mixer where we are recording. So we are live. We're not live for YouTube, but that's our YouTube feed. Now I'm going to welcome everybody. When we do a podcast, usually we start off a little bit for our YouTube feed, but lately we are ready to go with this podcast tonight, and we got a lot of different things that are going to be happening. To start the podcast, when we start podcasting for the podcast formats for people who listen, what we need to do is we usually do a 30-second spot that's available to the people who are listening that I eventually strip in for the people on YouTube, but you don't get to hear it live on the live. So we are going to start this podcast right now. We are drinking tonight, last shot, right here, Bourbon and Whiskey from Skaneatles, New York, out of there. And I have a really cool story, how this came about and everything that, what would you say, how I actually found out about Last Shot. I mean, Amanda Bryant, it's just pretty cool. But let's get this started, and we are about to start. Let's see. Yep, 45 minutes. Okay, start countdown.
Dant Crossing, Gethsemane, Kentucky. Timeless hospitality that stirs the spirit. Dant Crossing is a one-of-a-kind destination for unforgettable weddings, memorable corporate events, day trips, and weekend getaways. The pastoral campus is anchored by Log Still Distillery and includes an amphitheater that seats 2,000, a 12-acre lake for fishing and unique lodging options, creating an immersive experience that's rooted in the community and culture of our little slice of Kentucky. More attractions will open soon at Dant Crossing, including our 21,000 square foot distillery, which we will have the ability to produce 15,000 barrels of spirit each year, a network of wooded walking trails, fully functional private train depot, farm-to-table restaurant, and the Legacy, a premier wedding and events venue. Whether you're looking to host an event, book a stay, or reserve a tasting, we're ready to welcome you. Learn more at dantcrossing.com.
This is Alan Bishop, head alchemist at Spirits of French Lick. Be on the lookout for a brand new bottled and bond Solomon Scott rye whiskey. Made from a mash composed of 65% rye, 35% corn, and 5% victory malt. This 5-year-old 100 proof rye whiskey is a throwback to early 1800s style rye whiskeys of the Ohio Valley. Named after the legendary Daisy Spring Mill distillery owner turned moonshiner Solomon Scott of Paoli, Indiana. Remember, drink responsibly and never drink and drive.
Okay, that's enough. There's the first screw up. It's just like, God darn it.
That was about the third screw up by my count, but...
Oh my God, are we seriously gonna... It's telling me I can't get into my phone. I have to enter the password. Oh my God. Apple blow. Here we go. Let's try this again. Maybe, yep, there we go. All right, thank you, Kenny Fuller.
Excellent, Kenny.
Oh my God, we just really appreciate it. I don't know how many episode or podcasts you all are going to have to suffer through, because I still can't believe that he cut a theme song like that for us. And every time I hear it, I just can't. I feel like I'm in a dream, you know. So you're going to hear about it many, many times. But that brings us to, let's see if I can stream into the Alabama song by Little Steve-O. Start this baby off.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
All right, now we got it
Kick ass, and
started.
it actually played all the way through without stopping.
Without my leg turning
How
it
the
off.
hell did that happen?
I said my leg. And it just freaking like it's like the touch screen. Half the time you're just like poking away to try to do it. And you just gently set it on your leg and it freaking turns it off. I just like, I don't even know how that happened. But welcome everybody on YouTube, on our major podcast format, and also Facebook Live. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. This here is Xavier. And I am Tiny. We got that right. That's
Well, you know, maybe you should say your own name and I'll say my own name, but we'd probably screw it up.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But this podcast tonight is kind of a little bit of exciting. I'm happy because I'm coming off. We're coming off our 200th, which was a fantastic podcast. I mean. We had new people, we had old people, we had old people like us.
Yeah.
And
now you're talking
and we reviewed everything, and I thought that was fantastic. But then the next day I woke up and thought I had a hangover. Little did I know I had a sinus infection that wiped me out for the weekend. Now I'm back full strength. Earlier in the week my voice was a little bit trash. But one of the cool things about just really quick, after last year when I had COVID, I had lost my taste and smell. It came back, but then all of a sudden, the smell, my taste always stayed, but my smell went wacko. Like things smelled wrong. Like they were smelling and whatever, but they smelled wrong in a good way, especially when you drink bourbon, because when car exhaust or diesel exhaust smelled like a nice little aroma of vanilla. It's kind of like you were having to figure out. I was having to figure out all my smell.
And bourbon was tasting like chocolate to you.
That was before, my friend. If you've noticed lately you haven't played the chocolate it wasn't
card.
chocolate.
Yeah.
But I was using some cypress to always jumpstart my nose. Like before I was And what was happening with that was it tasted like someone took the cypress, put it in a pan, and burned it. It had a burnt smell to it. All essential oils were having that. So, but if I got real close, I could smell, or like when you're nosing whiskey, if you get really close, I could nose whiskey. But with the sinus infection, all this stuff that came out my nose, I was just blowing it out my brains. I mean, I felt like I was blowing all this out. What came back is my normal smell. High five.
All right.
I'm so excited to get my complete normal smell. This cypress smells like what I remember cypress is supposed to smell like. So I'm excited about that. So we got that going. But now, tonight, just remember, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. www.scotchybourbonboys.com is where you can go to find out everything Scotchy Bourbon Boys, our bios. There's a bunch of our podcast. We haven't done a whiskey live in a while, but we're going to get back at that. There's been some things that either sickness or trips or we got surgeries or whatever coming up. But I would say when we get back from Kentucky Bourbon Festival, the Whiskey Lives will start back up consistently every second and fourth Friday of the month. I'm trying to fit one in August. We'll see what happens, but it's been rough to do the podcast, do everything, and then as much as the Scotchy Bourbon Boys are exploding everywhere else, we are on Facebook. Under Jeffrey Mueller, you can follow me there. We're also the Scotchy Bourbon Boys group, Scotchy Bourbon Boys Facebook group. Check us out. We've been putting some pretty cool reels together. Check those out. And then we are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are also on TikTok. And there's one other, YouTube. There you go. I got it. I got them all that time. So, but when you're there, comment and like and subscribe, do all those things. And then we're also on all the major podcast formats. We need your support in those formats. When you're there, always leave a comment, leave some good feedback, and subscribe to us, because that's where it's at. Same thing on YouTube. We've been doing a lot of YouTube shorts, putting up the podcast on YouTube. I'm trying to keep up with the amount of content that we're putting out there, and I'm doing a good job. Now, if you wanted to purchase off the website, we do have Scotchy Bourbon Boy t-shirts and Scotchy Bourbon Boys, these beautiful Glencairns, for sale. We're willing to send them out to you. Okay, there. It's just like, which one is that? All right. Yep, I'm just moving that. So overall, tonight we got a little bit of a different setup. We got extra lighting in I'm hoping this extra lighting looks good from a standpoint of focus on the podcast. I've got Xavier here positioned perfectly to keep the reflection out of the back, put right into as he leans forward, and the reflection blinds me.
Yeah. Job I can handle.
Yes, he's blocking.
I make a better door than a window.
Right. Yeah. He's blocking. You can see it sneak in. You can see it sneak in over there. But anyways, but we got that extra lighting, so hopefully let us know, everybody, what you think of the lighting. Now I'm going to then go back to the Facebook Live feed and see what we got as far as... nope. Okay, at the moment, nothing. I'm going to keep that right forward as to go. If anybody watching wants to comment, we'll definitely check out your comments and, go from there. We are on a lot of different groups, so if we don't answer your comment, if you really want to comment, come into the Jeffrey Mueller. Check out my page or my Facebook at the moment. You'll be able to see the comments there, or if you're a Scotchy Bourbon Boy, you'll be able to also see those the comments come up through there. We'll be able to see that. But that brings us to our next thing, which you better be ready for. Our newest members. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys have been growing. We are getting close to 1,000 members. This 1,000-member giveaway, it's not going to be to the 1,000th member. It's going to be a bottle, and it's going to be a randomizer that I'm going to have Super Nash run, and we will send once we have 1,000 listeners or people in the group, not listeners, but group members. We will then I'm looking at which bottle that we're going to send out to one of our lucky 1,000 group members. So why don't you hit and welcome the group members this week.
Insane Scotchy Bourbon Boy welcome to Roger Gerard. And my phone just, the screensaver just went up. Let's start again. Roger Gerard, Jay Shamlin, Sam Austin, Tony Helms, Laura Lynn Doty, Nicholas Knupp, and Jennifer Logan Schlimmer. Hi, Jan.
And hi, Laura Lynn. She actually is part of the Spirit of French. She is high up at the Spirit of French Lit. So
that was easy for you to say.
Yeah, what?
God.
Yes, it's like great. She actually on one of
She
the
like
podcasts
real important.
with no, she is. She basically took over Jolie's
I see.
position
Okay.
at the Spirit of French Lick. So she is in charge of marketing and whatnot, and works with Alan Bishop, and who we once again will just go into Alan Bishop as our sponsor. You got to hear, unless you're on Facebook Live, you got to hear the new. You got to hear the new Solomon Scott ads. So we've got new ads running for the Spirits of French Lick, and those are Alan Bishop voiceovers. They're fantastic. We love the Spirit of French Lick. They've been a supporter from. They've been a supporter for us from the fucking beginning. So that's what's been happening there. And Jennifer Logan says, "Hi, Bob."
Hi, Jan.
Yes, and I recognize that because you told me that's what you call her.
Yeah.
Each other. So
Yeah, exactly.
So,
glad to have Jennifer and everyone with us.
Yep. So all right. Yeah, Troy Stevens is watching. We got Jennifer, she's watching. Mrs. Xavier is watching.
Hey.
So I think we got a lot covered. I don't know if there's anything else. But tonight we are going to do some barrel bashing with our bung hammer. You can hear that. It's getting ready to hit that barrel. So, tonight, what we've got here is
What do we have?
3 expressions. Now, the Last Shot Distillery, and I like to keep...
What happened?
We went dead, but I got to see if we're still recording. Are we still recording? No, we are not recording on... It says we're recording. How did we go dead? Where did we lose all of our power from? I just leaned forward. Everything's going to fall apart now. No.
Facebook Live still looks.
Yeah, Facebook Live is still going, but it wouldn't be back there. But
I know, but something fell down this way.
yeah, that's okay. That's just a speaker, which I can get.
Right.
I just don't understand why we lost. Oh, now I do. Probably. Is that it? Can I get it? We've had this happen before in the past, and I've got it to go. Let's see. I leaned here. That's going. All right. Anyways, when that happens, we can edit out a lot of stuff, but I don't want to start over. I don't know. Look at that. It says it just stopped recording. Do you see that?
Well,
Oh my God. What would I have done? I've actually gotten this to work in the...
okay. Why is that prompting you to click to stop recording? Do you just need to click
No.
right there and start it again? Was it just a little transient?
Well, I'll try to still pause. Play. Nope, it paused, but it won't start back up, but we can pause again. We can edit everything out except for the Facebook Live. The live chat.
Yeah, hence the designation live. That makes it a little tough.
All right. Usually... Oh, my God. Everything here. Work in there. Let's see. I can't...
What happens if you pull the USB hub?
Oh, that
Completely
just
out.
stops the whole thing from...
Well, I thought the whole thing was stopped.
No, that gives us no shot of getting back online. I've done that before, and you have to start over. I mean, we could start over if you want.
Nah.
Well, we don't have much of a choice in about 2 seconds. I don't know what happened.
Technical difficulties. Folks.
Yeah, well, this one is... I just don't understand how we go completely dead. Chapter. I mean, it just doesn't do that. Now this one, I mean, all I did was lean like this and it died. It's almost like it got a...
static shock.
All right, we're going to have to start over. Stop recording. No, it says cancel. All right. Play. Let me see. Podcast studio preferences. They're all saying they're working. No, it's just locked up. I'm going to have to start it over. Stop recording. Stop. Podcast. Sorry about that, folks. Quick podcast studio. It's kind of, we might have to dump the Facebook Live in a sec too. Let me just see if I can't get this up, folks, on Facebook Live. I will definitely. I mean, man, it sucks to lose that file. New. Okay. Well, we're back. It's why everything's working again. All right, we'll call this 2. Last shot 2. Come on, there we go. Plus.
So I guess the other one was our second to last shot.
You're being witty. All right. Plus, you're there.
Okay, rock and roll.
Okay. Add Bill Verna. Local. Pile. Boom. Add. Okay, we're back up and running.
Here we are.
Yeah. All right. So now let me throw in the... I guess got to throw in the stupid ad, and we'll just do this again real quick. What the shit?
We've never had that.
I've had it happen one other time, and I lost the audio podcast. I don't want to... The audio podcast is the most important, so... music. Do you see music? There it is. We'll dump in the French Lick Winery. All right. There it is. We're ready to go. All right, we're going to try this
Try it again one more time.
Okay, and we still have 5 people watching us. Just yeah, thank you, Karen. Now we're down to 4 people, but let's... we're
What
gonna
happened? Did Karen buzz out, or
No, she's there. We're gonna have to let's try this one more time. I understand we're recording it again on YouTube and everything, but we're just gonna have to do this. Oh,
it's like deja vu all over again.
All right, when I hit start recording, headphone and mic. Okay, skip. We're gonna skip that because it's working. Start countdown. We got to be quiet for 30 seconds. is it?
Talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Razors and
Where's
razors,
this?
making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun and hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
What a train wreck! Oh my God! Not the song, just our production here.
No, it's
But
just laying on the.
good Lord.
Here we go.
That was
That was Kenny.
Kenny Fuller. Now we got little Steve-O.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
All right, we did it again. And
Take two
with the speaker laying on the
on the
fucking
floor, but look at this way.
Hey.
The songs didn't stop me.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Just the speaker. I was like, "Where's it coming from?"
We
I
can
couldn't
hear
find-
it.
Yeah, it's there. It's happening. But where?
right,
I was
well,
like, I didn't install a. I'm pretty sure I didn't install a freaking speaker system in the house.
Anybody can make a mistake, but it takes a couple of tools to screw up on
Yeah.
Facebook
Anyways,
Live for
well,
everybody to
yes,
see.
okay, so I'm going to start monitoring Facebook Live again. So we got a couple more people. Thank you guys for watching. And
For all of you
I
that
better turn that down.
stayed with us, we really appreciate it. Thank you as we sorted out our technical issues here.
Yeah, definitely. www.scotchybourbonboys.com. You can check out everything Scotchy Bourbon Boys, top right-hand corner. Click that Patreon. You can get good stuff like this glass. You could get tastings from the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You could get T-shirts. You could get everything Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Please support us on Patreon. We appreciate everything. Also, there's the posting chip, which I have to remind last week when I was laying in bed, not feeling good, someone actually got the posting chip and we haven't sent that out. So we're going to have to do that soon. But with that said...
Since we're doing the podcast over again,
yes.
we need to do our members again, I think.
You could do the members, and then I'll do the plug, the shameless plugs
The
that we
shameless
do.
plugs. Anyhow, this is...
I'm tiny.
And I'm Xavier. Just in case you guys haven't figured that out.
Yeah, it's just kind of like... so we started this, we jump-started this, and we're on Facebook Live, and all of a sudden everything just went dead.
Yeah.
So we restarted this up.
And here we are. So the people on Facebook Live, you're not seeing double, you're not hearing things. We really are doing it a second time.
Yeah, but not only that, but at the moment, seriously... neither one of us had anything to drink, and it's getting to be
Maybe
about
that's the problem. I don't know.
9 o'clock.
But anyhow, let me welcome our new members one more time so the podcast folks will hear it. We have put some glasses on. That would help.
Put your sunglasses
As the
on.
old blind man grabs the wrong glasses. Okay, so we want to welcome Roger Gerard, Jay Shamlin, Sam Austin, Tony Helms, Laura Lynn Doty, Nicholas Knupp, and Jennifer Logan Schlemmer. Hello once again, Jan. Everyone, thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Laura Lynn. She definitely is a very, very good sponsor of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Working at the Spirit of French Lick, we definitely appreciate everything that you guys do for us. You just heard prior that Alan Bishop did the new Solomon Scott rye ad. So we actually have a bottle of that right back here. And you can see it back there. That was actually a single barrel, but now they're releasing their current. And Jan says, hi, Bob.
Hi, Jan.
Again. So they're releasing their current, the current batch of Solomon Scott Rye. Look forward to that. That'll be available at the distillery and in select stores around where it is distributed. So this is the last. I'm gonna try.
Whatever you do, don't
Here
bump
we go.
anything.
I don't know how I killed it last time. Maybe it was electrical kill
Static electricity,
or
perhaps.
something. But I need to get up. Like it's. Why is the laptop not working? This is just enough to make you not want to understand. I have the Last Shot Distillery. There it is. Is it going to pop out? There it is. Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
And why do I have to say I'm 21 and older again? Oh, God. I mean, I've already... This should have been... This was...
I can vouch for you. You're 21.
This is up and pressed. Oh, come on. All right, there we go.
Slow down.
There we go. The way that it's really cool how I found out about Last Shot Distillery. So on Facebook, in the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, I put out a post. What is everybody's under 25 or under $50 favorite bourbon or whiskey? And got a lot of stuff back. But Amanda Bryant, she's a distiller, really kind of she's been on Moonshiners, Master Distiller and Moonshiners. She is kind of, what would you say, a personality, okay? And she basically said Last Shot. She really likes Last Shot bourbon. And that's what this was, this bourbon whiskey. I believe when we talked about it, it's a 5-year. It's a small batch single barrel, and it's made in Skaneatles, New York. And the master distiller there, who she's been distilling with, is Chris Uyehara. Uyehara. Chris Uyehara.
Our sincerest apologies if we've mispronounced it.
No, that was not a mispronounce. I've been
I
over
said we. I didn't.
No, but we haven't been mispronouncing it because I kind of pronounced it. He said it was close, but it's Uyehara. That's
Uyehara.
Yes. He is a chef for 37 years. He's been a chef, and he's now opened in 2015. He opened a distillery in Skaneatles, New York, where he was. I believe where he was living. And they opened up in December of 2015, 2 miles from downtown Skaneatles, New York, adjacent to the Charlie Major Nature Trail. Fucking what the shit? Last Shot has built its home on a historically significant site in the same location of the Earl and Kellogg Distillery, operated from 1840 to 1864. Production ceased when Earl's Thayer and Co. Converted the property to a paper mill. Co-owner and distiller Chris Uyehara, known as Chef U, had a desire to expand beyond his 37 years as a chef. It was during a chance conversation with his daughter and her longtime friend that connected Chris to co-owner John Manapes. John had the perfect space and engineering expertise to house the distillery. Chris and John, longtime residents of Skaneatles, partnered to make this dream reality. Their mission is to bring new perspective to the art of distilling, create a family business centered around historic traditions and a community that they love. And so Amanda told me about it, and I'm like, do you think you could send me a pour? And I would love to try it because she talked about how good it was. And she said, okay, I'm going to the distillery next week. I said, if you could get me a bottle, I'll pay for it. Well, she went to the distillery to get a bottle, and Chris, hearing that the Scotchy Bourbon Boys were, wanting a bottle, sent it up to us. Sent me this.
All right, Chris.
Now, it was a week ago Saturday, and we're getting into whatever. Me and my wife, it showed up, and I wanted to try it. And so let's give it a try right now.
Let's take it for a test drive here.
Yeah, because it's not what I planned to do, but fuck, I need something to drink.
We need a drink.
I'm not supposed to be drinking a ton, but I need something after this. Okay, so now we've got the right glasses, and here we go.
All right.
If you want to read the back of the bottle.
If I want to. Ha.
No, you have to.
That's what I figured. Last Shot. Last Shot spirits are handcrafted from New York State grains and add to proof. And was it? And cut to proof, excuse me.
This is the old fuckers trying to read the bottle.
Well, it's
section.
like the lighting's just perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, hang on a minute.
It's not like you don't.
The old blind guy got to get his flashlight.
Yeah, get your flashlight, and you could probably.
Let's try it again. Last Shot.
Why don't you try and get in the picture while you're doing this? You're like out of the picture.
Now you just want it all, don't you?
No, hey.
Yeah, okay, let's try it again. Here we go.
No, is that
Come
better?
On, let's give the man
Is this
a
better?
bottle. Let's
there you go.
Let's do this right.
Okay.
Last Shot. Last Shot spirits are handcrafted from New York State grains and cut to proof with. You pronounce that
It's Skaneatles.
Skaneatles Lake water. All Last Shot bourbon is small batch, single barrel, aged in new charred white American oak. Using barrels from the north east brings exceptional character to any batch we age. Strong vanilla flavors paralleled soft oak undertones, giving you balanced, sweet. You would give me the one with the cursive red, sweet bourbon with just a hint of rye spice. Let's try that again. Strong vanilla flavors parallel soft oak undertones, giving you balanced, sweet bourbon with just a hint of rye spice. Here's a suggestion. Perhaps you should give me the bottle about 5 minutes before the podcast starts.
Then it wouldn't This would not be funny.
So I could trip over my tongue.
This is a part. This is called the old fucks try to read the bottle section
I'll
of
tell
the
you what.
Scotchy Bourbon
It's
Boys.
like a small print. And it's dark, and it's cursive. What could possibly go wrong?
He acts like it's dark, but I doubled the lighting.
You went from 5-foot candles to 10. Big fucking deal.
No, look at the light. I look at it.
But it doesn't get down here.
Where do you think it gets?
Everywhere, but where I need it to be.
I doubled the lighting. Anyways, that's just perfect.
Yeah.
So Greg Schneider has joined us to watching the podcast, and then also Dustin Marlowe asks, "How many?" Sorry. Okay. So, anyways, the Last Shot distillery there, Chris was kind enough to send this up to us. So I want to barrel bash this one. We're gonna barrel bash it. I enjoyed this last time immensely, and this actually, I love the nose of this. It's a bourbon.
I like that color. That's a lighter color. It's like a beer almost in the color, the level.
Yeah, it's
of yellow
caramely.
amber.
It's a caramel. It's like
amber. It's like somewhere between beer and a caution light.
So initially, I read off the site what I thought it was, and he let me know that it was older. It's 5 years old, and Chris, I love the nose on this. I still get pear and peach and apricot. It's a fruity nose.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting the peach and apricot. I'm not picking up the pear.
That's what I pick up on the top. All right.
And I'm getting caramel, vanilla.
I get a little vanilla too.
I'm not getting any oak on the nose.
All right. So let's
That's
give her a
good.
taste. Brown sugar. I pull in some of those. I pull in that pear apricot note. This is unique and delicious for bourbon. I want to say, let's see. Okay, so they have. Let's try this now. See if I can actually.
I keep reaching for these glasses. Let's get the glasses I can read with.
All right, let's see. I've got the bourbon right there. It's a single barrel charred. Our bourbon whiskey is lighter on the palate with warm, like you said, warm, complemented by an oak and rye spice finish. So.
And by the way, this is 42% alcohol by volume, 84 proof.
It's 84 proof. Do they have the mash bill on the front? Right there? No?
This is small batch, single barrel.
I taste the wheat in here too. So it's got a wheat, a rye.
This is barrel number 28 this came from.
All right. This is delicious. So I'm getting a graham cracker finish now that I've been at it. All right. So the Scotchy Bourbon Boy barrel bashing review. What would you call? Why am I
barrel bashing rating system?
A rating system. Why don't you take this over? Because
Scotchy
obviously,
Bourbon Boys barrel bashing rating system. This is something I don't have to read that's in cursive, so maybe I won't screw it up. We rate on 4 categories: nose, taste, body, and finish. And when we say bashing, you can get 4 bashes or 4 pounds with the hammer on the barrel for nose and body. But then the ones that we feel are the most important, taste or finish, you can go up to 5 bashes. And on any one of those categories, you can do a butt-up, which means it gets another bash if you really like it and don't feel that its rated total of 4 or 5 does the job. We both do that, then we take the average.
Yep, and this is Last Shot Bourbon out of Skaneatles, New York, right? And I would say now, when you taste in one of our Scotchy Bourbon Boy Glencairns, courtesy of Martin Duffy of the Glencairn Glass Company. If you have your group or whatever and you want your logo on there, contact Martin Duffy. He is a Scotchy Bourbon Boy, and he is able to allow you to get this. I just placed another order for 4 more dozen, and also we are going to be getting another 6 Crystal Glencairns for anybody who wants to check that out. So what I found when you're tasting in this, if you take it and roll it around in the glass, you can even roll it on the ground, it'll roll. And you pull
if your
it up.
glass is filled less than
Yes. But,
not past the
look at
waistline.
look at the legs on that baby.
yeah, it does have good legs.
Good legs,
Oh, yeah.
long, nice legs. It clings as it goes back into it's a lighter bourbon. I mean, it definitely has an ale look to it opposed to some of the other bourbons. But the nose is spectacular, in my opinion. I really like that fruity nose. There's not a lot of bourbons with a fruity nose, and I get that little bit of pear, a little bit of like wheat. I get a little bit of apricot, a little bit of peach. Then that lightness, I mean, this at 84 proof, it's not a big, heavy bourbon. This is a light summer bourbon. Wouldn't you say? This is something that you'd be able to drink on a Saturday afternoon.
You could almost pair it with a poultry or seafood dinner. It's so light. I mean,
we paired it with the first time with that charcuterie board that I posted.
Okay.
And then the finish is fantastic. It's sweet. I get a little graham cracker. I get a little peach. It just reminds me of summer. It's a summer. It's very summery. All right, so let's. You can go first on the nose, and the nose, like I said, that is we can give that a 4, right?
Right, but you can
Total?
give the taste a 5, give the body a 4, but you can give the finish a 5.
Right. So, what are you going to give that nose?
I have to give the nose a 4, and you know why I have to give the nose a 4. It's not so much that do I necessarily like it or dislike it. I like it because the nose gives you a very accurate indication of what the taste is going to be. So they got that part of it right. In my hand-to-mouth, blue-collar bourbon rating system, I think the nose should tell you what the taste is. The taste should... shouldn't be a surprise to you if you've nosed it properly. So I'm gonna give the nose a 4.
4 on the barrel bashing system, and I would have to agree. But I'm liking it not just because it matches. It does match. It's not matching. The nose isn't that much important for me, but for Xavier here, the nose definitely means something to him when it matches. So, but I'm going to do it based off of that fresh, fruity deliciousness that I'm smelling, and it does definitely match the palate. So I give it a 4 also. So that's pretty good. We start off pretty good.
We're in agreement.
All right, so let's go to
Taste.
Well, if you want to go to taste, all right. Taste to me of this is give me another little bit. I don't know why I'm going to have more, but I am because it's delicious, and I've barely had any bourbon over the last week and a half, so I'm just going to have a little bit more here. You got that? Put that back. Hold that up to the camera. All right. The taste.
Once again, in case you missed it.
You can drop that right there, right where my phone was. All right. The taste. I don't. Okay. So it doesn't taste like any bourbon I've ever tasted in my life. I mean,
yeah, I can't say, oh, this reminds me of such
right.
and such.
I mean, when I'm drinking it, but that's not. But it's so fresh and delicious with that peach taste and that apricot going on, and then the graham cracker. There's no spice whatsoever. I mean, but my whole mouth is filled, but it's not filled with any spice. I don't even know. It's tough to do this, but I think I'm going to give the taste a 5.
Okay, the taste for me, like the nose we talked about, that you get definite, peachy apricot, maybe a little bit of, bread, like you say. I get, some of the vanilla and or caramel there. And then on the taste, I do pick up on the side palate a little bit. I get the oakiness that they talked about, and it's not a bitter oak. It's a very pleasant balancing oak. It's definitely not, in spite of its fruitiness, it's definitely not an overly sweet bourbon. You would, it's kind of a more of a dry bourbon, but I wouldn't call it sour or bitter. It's really a pleasant taste, and I can't find anything wrong with it, so I'm going to give it a 5 as well.
All right, body, which you can only give it a 4, and I'm going to say this is probably the weirdest body because so I'm used to a big body off a bourbon and how it fills your mouth with explosion of flavor, right? Where every sense in your mouth is lit up on a big body from a good bourbon. But in this case, I have no idea what to tell you. I mean, I would say at first I thought this was the weak point of the bourbon. But after having it, tasting it, there's no part of my mouth, the roof of my my mouth, my tongue, under my tongue, on my cheeks, is there no flavor. The flavor has penetrated in a different way than any other bourbon I've ever drank. Usually it explodes out, right? This has like been a stealth spy that just left everything there and it's all there. So on the body, I can't give it a 4 because that's what I want is an explosion, but I have to give it a 3.
Well, this is frightening. One of us should be scared, but I would have probably phrased that exactly the same way you did. Give it nothing more to add or subtract. Give it a 3.
And that equals the amount of people watching on Facebook Live. Anyways, so then that brings it to finish. And what I always base a finish off of, is this a long finish? I mean, it's again so subtle, but it's still there. I mean, you still can taste the wheat and the graham cracker and the peach. It's all still there. So is it a long finish? I mean, usually a long finish is, it's just a different, it's a different type of a whiskey, there's no doubt. So on the finish, the most you can give it is a 4.
No, you can give it a 5 on the finish.
Ooh. So I'm going to give it a 4.
The finish for me, there's a little bit of spiciness to me that wasn't previously there. It is a moderate finish. It loses, you have absolutely no sweetness whatsoever because it didn't start out sweet. And it's not all that long lasting, yet it's still a pleasant finish. I hate to be so much like you, but yeah, 4 is a good number for the finish. It's good,
so,
but it's not.
We gave it the
favorite.
exact same score. We are online for this, but the score is 16 out of 18.
That's a great score.
There's no doubt. What this is very unique, so it deserves the 16 out of 18. There's no doubt. So there we go. We barrel bashed that. This is Latch Shot Bourbon Whiskey. Handcrafted out of Skaneatles, New York. It is fantastic. Thank you, Amanda, for telling us about Chris.
And thank you, Chris.
Yes, thank you, Chris, for sending. But now we get to do the fun thing. So he's like, oh, if you don't, so he tells, I have some contact on Facebook with him. We talk about it. He tells me about the mash bill for the bourbon. Then he tells me, asks me if I like, a whiskey. Now this last shot, Skaneatles whiskey, he says, I want to send this to you. And this is a whiskey because it is, has a I want to say
it's not a corn.
No, it's corn forward, but I'm going to get my glasses out and I'll read the back of the bottle. And let's just see. Well, I don't need the thing. Let's just see. Here we go. Our Distiller's Reserve Whiskey is aged in our used bourbon whiskey barrels, soaking up sweet honey and floral flavors. This whiskey finishes like a rye, dry and spicy, the perfect complement to its sweet beginning. Skaneatles whiskey is crafted with history in mind, distilled on the site of one of Skaneatles' oldest distilleries. We hope to bring new life back to an old-time tradition, distilled from corn, wheat, and a hybrid grain called Tritical. It's Tritical. Tritical. Our whiskey is light-bodied but full of deep-rooted flavor and history. So, to continue the story, it's kind of like the first time when the package arrived, we were not here. We were here, but for some reason we didn't hear so it went to back to the shipper. And the shipper said they weren't going to deliver till Monday, but then it showed up on a Saturday. This time, we weren't here, but our son had stopped by, and while he was sitting there waiting for us to come home, he was able to sign for a package. I had no idea. So this package shows up yesterday, and in it is the Skaneatles whiskey, and then also, from Chris with the note, is the chocolate creme brulee liquor and bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. So I'm looking forward to this when we're done. But this, Chris is very, very proud of. How are you watching? It's like now you're watching. You're actually making it. You shouldn't be watching it.
No, I just wanted to see something, that's all.
Okay.
You got that open yet?
Here it comes. There it is. Let it air. We're going to get rid if there's anything. Now, this is a much redder whiskey. And it was, it's corn. It's a bourbon mash bill. But what?
It's aged in used barrels.
Yes, but it's aged in the used bourbon barrels to add
How
more
long was it
flavor.
aged? Did they give an age statement?
The only way
Well, if you don't have it, that's okay.
I have it on a letter. He sent me a letter, but the letter is probably nowhere near anywhere
Where
we
you
can
need it to
get.
be, okay.
And I appreciate, Chris, that you sent us this. We have new Glencairns for this. And doesn't that look delicious?
That looks like a cream, right? And we got coffee.
All right, so we're not going to barrel bash that. We barrel bash the bourbon because
We're just going to drink this.
we are going to drink this. And we'll let
We
you know.
might nose it, but not for long.
This is more of a classic bourbon
Whiskey.
nose. It reminds me of a rye. There's a little bit. I'm getting a little black licorice.
I'm getting none of that. I'm getting definite wheat bread, that is. Maybe a little bit sweet, maybe like a cornbread. Not really getting rye spice, but it's not really a rye whiskey, apparently. I'm getting subtle sweet, maybe some vanilla.
Let's give her a try. Ooh. Ow! Ow! Wow.
Pretty good.
Now that one, as far as body, lights you the fuck up.
It sure does.
Now, what is, let's see. I did not get this, but are we... Oh,
It's right there.
yeah.
Here.
40...
46 proof, or 46 ABV, so 92 proof.
92. So we have gone up 8 proof points. And Where is David Jenner just asked where Last Shot is out of, and it's out of Skaneatles, New York.
Skaneatles, yeah.
Skaneatles. There we go. I said it. Skaneatles.
I think that's how it's pronounced. The people that live there are probably
saying we're bastards.
Yeah, they've probably thrown their phones across the room. And
yeah. Okay. So, all right. It's hello to Ricky Edwards checking in also.
Greetings. Thanks for joining us.
And then, thank you, David Jenner. But up until the time that Amanda Bryant mentioned Last Shot Distillery and Last Shot Bourbon, I had no idea that it existed. And I'm so glad that Amanda has enlightened us to
broadened
this.
our horizons.
And we definitely want, it's a trip that you want to make someday, right? There's no doubt. We've just had two. First we had their bourbon, and now we just had their Skaneatles whiskey. And this is some good stuff. I mean, honestly, Angel's Envy. They finished all their bourbon in port wine casks. They don't have a bourbon. It's all finished in port wine casks or their rye, whatever. And this is similar to that, where they use that special grain, whatever, triticale. You're right, triticale.
Or however it's pronounced, yeah. It's been a pronunciation exercise tonight, folks.
Wait.
For both
tonight?
Of us. For both of us.
But tonight?
Yeah, but it's usually just you.
No, fuck you, it's not. No way. Oh. No, I'm not even going there. Anyways, it's doing a podcast for both of us is a challenge in so many different ways.
Walking and chewing gum is a challenge.
But drinking whiskey is not, and that's
unfortunately it isn't.
Right. So, oh God, then I'm getting a cornbread nose. It's
That's
cornbread.
what I said.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
I'm getting that. All right, and then this.
It's a cornbread taste.
If the bourbon was 92 and was exactly this, see, I'm getting licorice on the finish.
I'm not.
I don't know why. It's like
agreeing with you, but I'm
getting freaking. It's like drinking absinthe on the finish.
Let me try again.
There's a ton of it.
You know, there might be a little bit of
it's damn good.
Or
there's a ton of
there's something
grain.
There. Yeah.
And then it goes to that finish. And I can't say it's a bad finish.
No, it's a good finish.
I would drink this a lot.
I wouldn't have picked out licorice, but since you zeroed me in on it, yeah, there's probably some fennel there, or some anise or something.
So here's another. I mean, just So this shows up on today's Thursday, right?
Correct.
So this shows up on Wednesday. I got a package. I'm like, I was planning on doing this podcast with the bourbon. That was enough. But all of a sudden, Chris, in his wonderfulness, sends us this. And I'm glad he did, because this right here, if you can get your hands on either one of these, I would highly suggest it. There's no doubt about it, right?
Absolutely.
All right. This is the fun part. And you get to
All right, it's my turn to fall on the grenade. Huh?
Hold on. I'm going to open it. I don't think we have to. This is something that he was very proud of and told me about that we have to try. So let me pop this baby. Now, this is only 15% 30 proof. So you want to give me your last empty glass? I mean, we got to get a pour on that.
Yeah, for gosh sakes.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So is that the clean one? Yes.
Or is your clean one over there?
No, that's the one I just drank out of.
Okay.
That's
All right, then that must be the clean one right there, the far right.
yes. We're getting that once again, folks. I'm gonna pour a little bit of this. Now this, I'll let Xavier tell you what it's called. Chocolate creme brulee. I mean.
So yes, from the Last Shot Distillery, this is chocolate creme brulee, liqueur, and bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. Handcrafted in Skaneatles, New York. It is 15% alcohol by volume or 30 proof. And now, as we delve into reading the back, hey, it's in vertical Gothic rather than cursive. I might stand a chance of reading it.
We'll see.
Let's see here. Inspired by a 35-year career as an executive pastry chef and chocolatier, our distiller and owner, Chris Uyehara, created a dessert liqueur. The chocolate creme brulee liqueur with bourbon whiskey and natural flavors is made using our award-winning gold medal Skaneatles whiskey formula. It is aged in a brand new American oak barrel to create a unique bourbon. You will taste notes of chocolate, caramel, and vanilla. Enjoy on the rocks, or use it to complement your coffee, or how we're doing it tonight, straight up.
Uyehara. And
Did I mispronounce
I
it?
think you said Uyehara. Uyehara.
Okay, Uyehara, excuse me. Chris Uyehara.
Uyehara.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. I'm having more of that.
You know what? It's okay if you say you smell chocolate. Just so you know.
This does exactly. I mean, it's like you can tell this was distilled by somebody who. How did you?
Oh God, that's good.
It's not even fair.
I know.
Thank you for sending this to us, Chris.
Yes, sir.
We don't
Thank
drink
you.
a lot of this type stuff because I have no idea. I should drink all of this all the time.
You're going to give me more. I know that.
Yeah. Anyways, so that brings us
Mrs.
to.
Xavier would love that with her coffee.
Oh, I don't think anybody. I will hold that up, and there you go.
And while
I'm
you got
holding that up to.
while you're holding it, load me up again. That's good stuff.
All right, let's just see. Yeah, of course, Super Nash. Both Henley and Nash jump in, and they start ripping on me for liking chocolate. It's like, what the hell?
You're kind of an easy target when it comes to that, though.
But
in their defense.
It's been a long time since I've been tasting chocolate, and this actually is chocolate creme brulee, fuckers.
It's fresh.
Yeah, it's just like I'm supposed to taste chocolate, you bitches. It's just that simple.
He tastes chocolate and everything.
Yeah,
Or he did.
All I'm gonna say is
the last couple weeks you have not.
a couple weeks. I haven't tasted chocolate since November.
Bullshit!
I haven't.
You lie like a dog in a
No,
rug.
I don't.
Oh my God!
I might have thrown hints of it. But every time, see, your brain's functioning on every time Henley or whatever says I'm getting chocolate, and then I don't get chocolate, and somehow it registers for everybody else that somehow I did.
What?
Name a bourbon since November.
I can't name a bourbon.
Name it. Yeah,
the three of us are lying. We made it all up. You never
No,
said that.
before November, before it, I probably had 50 chocolates that I picked up chocolate on my palate. But after November, it's not been chocolate, and you guys are all like, chocolate every time. But I'm not tasting chocolate, you bitches. I haven't tasted chocolate in a long time. I think there was one since November.
Oh my God!
You can go back. Go back. I challenge anybody. Super Nash is like, damn. I challenge anybody to go back on the podcast and come up with and tell me more than
Super
one
Nash
that I pick
and
up.
whiskey, feel free to jump in and help me out here.
There's no helping out. I have not been tasting chocolate. My palate doesn't pick up chocolate anymore. But
On this, I hope it does.
yes, and honestly, it might be a start of chocolates because it's back to normal. Everything's back to normal. I'm smelling normal. I mean, it took a good sinus infection to reset the bitch. So I'm reset.
You are reset, the great reset.
All right.
I want to say to Chef U, that's a magnificent dessert liquor. That is outstanding.
I want to know how you make something like that. What is the ingredients on it? It didn't even cover that. It just was deliciousness. If this is a whiskey or a liqueur created by a chef. There's no doubt about it.
No, definitely.
It's like there's not very many. This puts Bailey's to shame. Bailey's is kind of like a standard candy bar, and then this is like a chocolate shop, in New York City with, handmade truffles. Right?
It's definitely exquisite.
I mean, it's not too sweet, but it's sweet enough. Right? So, anyways, that brings us to, we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty. Wonderful to have everybody. Thank you so much on Facebook Live,
Yes.
and people who are joining us on
And
YouTube.
thanks for sticking with us, those of you who joined us early and had to suffer through our little technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us.
Although the people on the podcast didn't get the second
The people on the podcast, just ignore everything I said my last couple sentences.
So that's going to take us to another episode of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We definitely had fun. Chris, Amanda Bryant, thank you so much
Thank
for
you, Amanda.
hooking us with Chris.
Thanks, Chef U.
Chef U or Chris. He is Chris Uyehara. And we definitely thank you for the generosity that you've shown us.
Absolutely.
But also enlightening us to this delicious liqueur and
These were
whiskey
three
and-
awesome expressions here, and you can't go wrong with these, folks.
Yeah, and we didn't, right?
Oh, my goodness. No, we didn't.
So if you're ever in or around the Skaneatles,
yeah.
Skaneatles, New York area, stop by, see them. I believe there should be a trip that way for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys because I would love to see everything what Chef U's doing to make this delicious whiskey. Started in 2015, it's 2022, and he's putting out some really nice expressions. Highly recommended by the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. This is a unique whiskey. If you're looking for something that is, like a flavor profile that's just not your standard profile, this whiskey accomplishes it. But at the same time, it shows you that whiskey is an art and how delicious it can be made.
Very well put.
All right, everybody. We're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Please check out the website. When you're there, there's merchandise for sale. Also, you can contact me, Jeffrey Mueller, any different ways. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys at gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Also on all major podcast formats. When you're on any of those, please subscribe and comment. That is the most important thing. Likes are fine, and we love them. But when you subscribe and comment, it definitely helps us as the Scotchy Bourbon Boys so that we can go out and keep making great content for you. And then also remember, Kentucky Bourbon Festival is coming up September 16th through 18th. The 15th opens up with Bourbon in the Air. Those tickets go on sale August 1st. If you listen to us, you just got an exclusive. Go to kybourbonfestival.com August 1st, which is a Monday at 10 a.m. The Bourbon in the Air tickets will be on sale, plus all the Distillery exclusive. There's Jim Beam. There's a bunch of different events happening throughout the festival. So those tickets will be going on sale August 1st, so make sure you check that out. You can see us down there. We've got 2 banners now. So we will be in that hot corner podcasting right from Kentucky Bourbon Festival. If you're there, stop by, say hi, share a pour. This year's going to be off the fucking charts. There's no doubt about it. Randy Prossi, El Presidente of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. He is doing some amazing things. What's going to happen, we'll find out this year. So
He's El Presidente, and he's a Scotchy Bourbon Boy, but he's El Presidente of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
yes, definitely.
Clarifying.
Yes. And then thank you, Greg Schneider, for watching tonight.
Thanks, Greg.
Having you on is always a pleasure. And then also Super Nash and Whiskey.
Thanks for joining
us. And I will take us out with
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raisins in hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun, yeah.
podcast. Let's see. We're at 53 minutes under a... What was... Okay. Let's do what I gotta do. What the hell happened? Did you see it just like...
Just want to get a double take there.
Yeah. Do all the special effects. Thank you guys for hanging around a little bit longer. I'm just going to get this started downloading. Publish to for upcoming. Here we go. Yeah. Shift last. What the heck? L shot? Why didn't it type? What happened?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm drunk. All right, so that can come off.
Okay, so we're still live on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. We're still live on Facebook, and we're still live on YouTube. And we will take out YouTube with
little Steve-O.
With little Steve-O. I mean, I thought that podcast went okay once we got it going.
Yeah, once we got started.
I would have to say,
you know, the first time we kind of blew up on the launch pad, but this.
Well,
second time
but see
bad.
people on Facebook that got to see it double up.
Right.
That's kind of like the what would you say, the podcasting environment that you're dealing with, because you have some. I mean, we just went dead.
There
all of a
was
sudden, there was nothing. It
nothing
stopped
explicable to do
recording.
it.
And all I did was touch this microphone I with my arm.
It had to have been a static electricity.
It had to go from the microphone to the computer and just shut us down. Now, sometimes when the computer program, I use, it just switched from day to nighttime, and that freaked me out. But I use a software program that sometimes will have an issue. We've done 200 episodes, and I've had issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out of 200. So this was the 6th. So that's really something that you have to do as a podcaster. You just pray that it's not the podcast that you're doing with Greg Schneider or Randy Prossi or Harlan Wheatley or Colin O'Driscoll.
Francesca Viola or something
yeah,
like
you
that.
just hope that it doesn't freak out. Now, if you remember, I believe it did freak out also at we basically lost the video, or I mean we lost the audio part of the podcast. It just died in the middle. But what I was able to do is grab the audio from the video podcast that we were recording,
Patched it in, huh?
and then I patched it in and made the podcast.
Good deal.
So there's a lot of stuff that you can do when you run into technical difficulties, but there's not much when you run into technical difficulties with your whiskey by drinking too much. There's not anything you can do.
Not a lot
that.
you can do.
So, anyways, all right. So everybody we are going to take it out on YouTube.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
The microphone's in my face.